I'm wondering what you saw, or I'm sure you're aware that the Kings have occasionally struggled in the third quarters of games. I'm wondering what you told your team at halftime, obviously they had a pretty good. You guys had a pretty good second quarter as well.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about the way they play in the third quarter. We talked about the way the last game we were down and we came out, swinging defensively and offensively. And so we just talked about what they could be saying in their locker room that, look, we got to come out and be aggressive here in the third quarter. And yes, they have been struggling in the third, but as you know, basketball can be cruel if you rely on that. So I thought the third quarter was again just like the last game. We came out on both ends, sharing the ball, and then defensively talking and helping one another, and just giving one tough shot, and that put us in a position to take control of that game.
Okay, Callie.
Hey, Jason, you mentioned before the game that this whole COVID outbreak has been wearing on guys. How do wins now feel different than they do within the normal flow of a season, knowing, how difficult it is to come by and how much you guys have to kind of push through to get those wins?
Yeah, I think a lot of times when you do win, you focus on one or two players, but these are all team wins because everybody has to participate. Everyone's on deck, with all the new faces. And so it could be foul trouble that you have to play someone that you normally wouldn't. And so the next man mentality is big for us. And for whatever reason, we compete, we fight, and we're in games. It's just a matter of, does the ball bounce? Do we get a stop or do we make a shot on this road trip? And so far we're 2-2, headed to Oklahoma City. And then hopefully we get some more guys back off of, the COVID list.
Landon.
Hey, Jason, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. Elaborate on your team's defensive effort tonight and what you saw particular on Fox and Barnes holding them under 12 points individually.
Well, I think it's, you can look at the last game. We held them to 92 points until 4 seconds in the game. They made a three, so it was 95. Our defense on this road trip has been very, very good. Even in Utah, we're in the game. We're getting stops. We're sharing the ball. I think when you see the ball movement is a big part of our success defensively because everyone's touching it. Everyone feels a part of it. And so on the defensive end, everybody's helping one another. And I think KP probably doesn't get enough credit. He's been great at the rim for us and being able to change shots or block shots. And so that's been a big thing for us. And I think it's just our team defense. We don't have one person just shutting someone down. We're not built that way. And so right now we're playing well, we're connected. And you can see that our spirit is extremely high.
Okay, we got one more on Zoom, and then we actually have one in the room. Ian, last one on Zoom.
Yeah, Jason, Reggie's first game back today. What do you make of how he played, and just what are your thoughts there?
It was great to come back from being out with COVID and to play 30 minutes. We didn't have him, scheduled to play that many minutes, especially being out the time that he was out. But he felt great, and he did a great job for us on both ends. And so, I think hopefully this is the break that he needed. He's fresh. And I thought the shots he took, and then also he showed that he can put the ball on the floor and get to the basket. And so we're going to need that. But the big thing is his defense. He's been big for us all year. And I thought tonight or this afternoon, he was really good on the defensive end.
Okay, we'll move to the room.
Yeah, Jason, the reporter, a couple questions going down. Definitely a plausible response as far as your defense. But going back to the last game, the undercurrent, I'm going to the core. You made adjustments, okay? And defensively, you guys played naturally, but you made adjustments. Can you talk about, what you did differently from, this game to the last game? Because the last game, that fourth quarter, it seemed like it was a two-man game between Brunson and Porzingis, but you seem to go away from that, and you had some success formula for this game to worked out pretty well.
Yeah, well, we saw something in the last game, and we were able to execute it again with no practice. This is, you just hope it works, and the players do all the work. But the ball movement, to be able to run a play and stay in that formation and get multiple looks because everybody's live, and that was big for us. That's when we kind of took control of it. We got the slip. DP gets the dunk. KP, and Jalen are playing the two-man game, but I think we knew that they were going to load up on JB and KP, and so we had to figure out how to get other guys involved. And I thought DP did a great job bouncing back from the last game. Not just on the defensive end, but on the offensive end. And I think the guys in that locker room really believe in sharing the ball, makes the game a lot easier. And that's what we've been preaching, since day one, is that we don't have to over dribble. The pass is just as effective than the dribble. And you could see that tonight. Everybody was touching the ball and we were getting wide open looks.
My last question is, I'm just going to field it to you as you have been a player and you've been a coach. Kings have their issues going on in the third quarter, but I just want to get your thoughts on mental toughness as a player playing in the NBA. What's your definition of being mentally tough, being sharp when you playing this game?
My definition or the corporate definition. I think there's two definitions, but the way I look at it is you can't let anyone affect what you truly believe in and that your mission. And so things aren't always going to go well. And things tend, for us right now, it seems like we're always fighting uphill. But if you stay positive and you continue to believe in your gift, it will turn. And so you just come to work, you stay positive, you share your experiences as a coach, but you truly believe that it's supposed to be hard. Because if it was easy, anybody or everybody would do it. And so that's how I look at mental toughness, is that my team, those guys in there are mentally tough because they could have easily said it's a 3:00 game. We had a tough game the last night. We'll figure it out after the new year. And as we get healthy, but those guys in that locker room believe that they can win. And that's a lot of credit to those guys in that locker room.
So kind of take us through, how have you been feeling these last few weeks, and how have you handled, being away from the team and being in isolation?
It was a tough time. Obviously, I wanted to be out there and be with my team, but obviously this thing is going around the whole league and happened to come on to me, and I just had to isolate at home. Just focus in, just continue to just watch the games, see my team perform, and just try to see what I can do better when I come out there. But I've been feeling well. Obviously tonight I felt well, but it's just all about me just continuing to just build on my condition.
In terms of how you looked on the court, it seemed to be one of the games that you looked like you had the most confidence and the most rhythm in at least a little while. How did it feel for you? And do you think that the break had any sort of impact in the way that you were seeing things or the way that you were feeling the ball?
Yeah, I think the break was good for me. Obviously, I was struggling a little bit. Just had to continue to just find the confidence. My teammates believed in me. I just try to just take this break and just try to come in with a new attitude, try to bring energy. That was my main goal coming into this game tonight. I seen how they've been playing. They've been playing well, moving the ball a lot, and my main goal tonight was just try to come in and play with energy. And things just worked out for me. I was able to knock down shots and my teammates found me.
All right, Chuck Cooperstein.
Hey, Reggie, just a little bit more on the ball movement. Just how different was it actually playing and seeing it as opposed to just where you guys were, really prior to the last 3 weeks or so? And do you think this is something that when everybody gets back, that it will be ingrained in everyone well enough that this is the way that you guys are going to play?
The way that the league is going right now, with a lot of players getting a lot of call-ups, it's an opportunity for everyone to perform, and with the guys that, that came in, they all great guys. They work hard, and, nobody got nothing to lose. And they just go out there, just play hard, move the ball, and do what we need to do. So, whoever coach inserted into the game, they brought their attitude, brought their energy, and, everyone shared the ball. When the ball happened like that, it's fun. I mean, whether you score 2 points, 4 points, whatever it is, as long as, you're touching and feeling involved in the game, that allow you to be better on defense, allow you to just, do the little things to be able, help the team win.
Okay, Isaac Harris.
Reggie, got a non-game question for you here. What's it like having a personality like Jared Dudley in the locker room as an assistant coach?
It was great. Actually, I got drafted to the Clippers, and he was a guy in my position, and obviously he was playing before me. And I just seen his professionalism that he held himself to when he was playing, and just to have his energy. I like what he did on defense when he was even playing into the league, so I trust him a lot on defense, and he brings that energy and just try to tell us, as a player, he was out there. So him and kids. So just believing in those guys to be able to try to help us get the job done.
Okay, and Coop has one more. Coop.
Thanks, Alan. Hey, Reggie, I'm curious, what, if anything, did Jason say, or what did y'all say to each other in the huddle at 67-67 after they had scored 8 straight points to tie the game? You guys had the big run to take control of the game, because it seemed like you guys, it's almost like the jockey hitting the horse and saying that, hey, keep your eyes in front. Let's go.
He pretty much came back to the huddle with 2 words, and those 2 words were slow down. So once everyone slowed down, everyone was just be able to, find their rhythm, find good shots, and and it started with our defense to start picking up, and everyone was touching the ball, and the ball was firing, moving around, and everyone was not able to knock down shots. But those 2 words they used was slow down, and just go out and just play with energy.
Okay, and we have one more question, Landon Thomas.
Hey, Reggie, Happy New Year. You said defense. Can you talk about your defense adjustments made tonight, holding the Kings to 40 points in the second half opposed to 56 in the first half?
Just pride, what I'm saying? Just pride, just trying to guard your man one-on-one good. Everyone's helping everyone. You're going to get beat. People going to make tough shots, but as long as that, you got your brother back on the defensive end and trying to help him with everything, as long as everyone had an attitude, it's pretty easy, to try to, disturb people when they run the offense, just to try to be on the same tandem and play together.
Hey, Jalen, I got 2 questions for you, if I can. First, what was your mindset when you heard that Frank wasn't going to be available tonight and you were the only true point guard from the actual roster that was going to be up tonight?
I know I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but I mean my mindset stays the same. I mean, the role may change, the minutes may change, but the mindset stays the same. Just go out there, be aggressive, be confident, play my game, and really nothing changes as for the mindset part. But I mean, we want to get him back and healthy, and but just happy we came away with a win.
And also to follow up on that, knowing how tough of 3 weeks this has been for you guys, how do wins possibly feel different when you can get them, and knowing who all has to contribute and how much you guys have to kind of push through to get to this point? How do they feel different in the way that either you guys celebrate them or just realize what it takes to get there?
Oh, yeah, I mean, you gotta be happy when you get a win. You gotta celebrate in some fashion. You gotta be happy for one another. But it's kind of like the same thing when you lose a game. You got to think about it for a second, and then you got to move on. So, I mean, we're excited we came away with a win against a team like this, especially how we lost the first time we played them, or the second time we played them, our second meeting. But, I mean, nothing really changes. You got to just be happy, short-term memory, move on to the next one.
Okay, we'll go to Chuck Cooperstein.
Hey, Jalen, given that you kind of mentioned this, you scored 94 points on Wednesday night against a team that allows about 114 a game. How much of an emphasis in your mind was there in pushing the pace and just getting yourselves, into a position to get the game moving a little bit faster?
It definitely was the emphasis. Didn't really work in my favor in the first quarter, but we found ways to get stops, play off of our defense, throughout the rest of the game. But I mean, we definitely had to get out and run. When we can get stops, when we can run, that's when we're able to be at our best. And I mean, when we're able to take care of the ball and be able to get shots. It definitely helps. It's a fun game when we're out there running, playing off each other. It's very fun.
And these two games against the Kings, you guys shot your fewest number of 3-pointers all season, 24 on Wednesday, 22 tonight. Was that just a function of a better ability of everybody to get to the basket, or is there more of a mindset when it comes to something like that, or is that just happenstance?
I think it's a little bit of circumstance. We're trying to get out there and run, and we're trying to get easy baskets whenever we can, and look for good to great. And I don't want to say we're hunting 2-point shots or not necessarily hunting 3-point shots, but we're able to just try and run. When we get great shots, and we don't have to force up bad ones, and we're playing off each other, and I think it's great for us. And we were able to get easy baskets. We were able to move the ball, and they flew at us. We were able to drive and present layups, present easy mid ranges, and then when they collapsed on that, we were able to kick out for threes and get great ones.
Appreciate it.
Okay, Landon.
Hey, Jalen. Happy New Year. I got to ask you. So the team is 3-3 in the past 6 games. Heading into the new year, what are the strengths you are seeing in the wins and the faults the team can work on in the losses heading into the new year?
Well, happy New Year to you too. And it comes down to just details, attention to detail. A couple of those losses, if I can remember correctly, were pretty close. One possession or a couple possession games, or free throw games. It's as long as we're paying attention to the little things and doing the little things, not necessarily worrying about what's happening to us on the offensive side of the ball. If we lock in and stay together on the defensive side, the offense becomes a lot easier because we're not really worried about it too much. We're not focusing our mindset on that. We're focusing on defense and getting stops. When we focus on things that can be very difficult, the things that are easy come a lot easier. And so we're able to score the ball. We have a lot of guys that can do that. And when we focus on defense, offense comes a lot easier.